Alright, what's up everybody? We are back with more of Avadon 3 the Warborn. Here we are in the upper portion, still on this interlude with Avadon. So it's time for us to explore it. Another pretty lengthy sequence without companions, but whatever, it is what it is. It's too bad we couldn't take them on for something like this, because I would love to hear their thoughts on this, but I guess there's a reason why we just have to handle this by ourselves. Well, while we're here, we're definitely going to take some stuff. Steel broadsword? That looks like the dagger model, but if they're gonna say it's a steel broadsword, I mean, why not? And steel halberts. The Titan Shield short sword is still the better option here, clearly. This is the audience hall of the Keeper of Avadon. It's a huge, imposing chamber. Protos sits on his throne to the north, dealing with the constant flow of supplicants and hearts. You silently watch for a few minutes. Being the Keeper of Avadon looks like an exhausting job, with a ceaseless river of paperwork. Eventually, Protos notices you. In a rare moment of quiet, he sips some wine and waves you forward. This is Avadon's equivalent of purgatory. It is the waiting hall where people who want something from the Black Fortress wait to see the Keeper make a request. Or, most often, wait, and wait, and wait. Sometimes for years. When you enter the hall, all heads turn to you, hoping that you are a keeper or a heart. When they see you are a mere hand, they return to their long wait. Most of the envoys are noble or wealthy citizens of the pack. There is also one old wretch sitting on a bench by the south wall, noisily snacking on a big plate of ribs. You approach Acting Keeper Protos and wait your turn. He is constantly being brought reports to read and orders to sign. The hearts of Avadon don't give him a moment's peace. Eventually, he waves them away. As they wait impatiently, staring daggers at your back, Protos turns to you. Hello, Raylin. As you can see, I do actually get work done. I was chosen as Keeper, and I will serve. I doubt the hearts will forgive me, but I can spare some time to speak with you. You have done some remarkable things for Avadon, so we should know each other better. I would like to know more about you. Heart Protos nods. You are not alone. Many skeptical hands want to learn all they can about me. I was born and raised in Darram. I was a judge there, renowned for my hard work bringing down Taiwan infiltrators and other foes of the pack. This is what brought the gates of Avadon upon me. Tell me about Darram. A lovely learned state along the east coast of Linnaeus. It has suffered greatly. From Taiwan armies to the north and Silvergaldi and Warborn to the south, we should have been better protected. Did Redbeard force you to come here? Not at all. The moment one of his hands contacted me, I leapt at the chance to serve the Black Fortress. Redbeard was far stronger, far more focused back then. Taiwan infiltrators? The Taiwan Empire was once mighty, then the Pact broke it, and it has long plotted to become what it once was. The left was one of those spies and plotters. He helped to unite the far lanes against us. Redbeard was right about that. He isn't important anymore, though, and Redbeard is wasting our time hunting him. How long have you been here? Over 20 years. Ursus and I researching the foes of the pack both here and in the cities of the pack. And then, after the cowardly assault on our keep, when Hart Miranda was lost, I was elevated to Hart. Then Hanvar's council got tired of Redbeard's antics. They gave me the greatest honor they could. Tell me about Hart Miranda. Protus starts to speak, but then he stops. His businesslike exterior fades as he remembers the terror of the assault on Avadon and the depths of her betrayal. It takes him some time to regain his calm, but his pure loathing of her cannot be entirely concealed. She was Redbeard's most trusted advisor. I called her friend. She betrayed us all. It is good that we are rid of her. Though there are 1,000 things clamoring for Protus' attention, he continues to chat with you. You suspect that he's happy to take a break from the constant responsibility. Servants constantly bring you tea as you speak. Protus casts the occasional wistful glance at the fine wine on the table nearby. Let's talk about Redbeard. He sighs. I will always be compared to him. I've done so much to bring strength back to the Black Fortress. Yes, the eyes and hands have tried to see me as a keeper, but they never will, not as long as Redbeard is out there. He fingers the gold necklace, a symbol of his office. No matter, I will work and prove myself until everyone believes it. I see you still have that necklace. Of course, Redbeard gave it to me to show I am his successor. I will use every bit of authority to prove myself to those I command. So you never fought Redbeard? Of course not. He is far more powerful than me. He was old and confused, true, but still a mighty warrior. He'd tear me apart. How can you be replaced? I don't know. Nobody has tried. Everyone has been happy with my service. What if you die before the war ends? You worry that Protus will take the question the wrong way. He doesn't. I imagine Hanvar's council will pick a successor, unless someone kills me. In that case, I suppose law says my killer is my successor. It's a grim legal question, yes, but a fascinating one. Let's talk about Avadon. I would like nothing more. For centuries, the warriors and spies of the Black Fortress have helped keep the Pact united and its enemies weak. We wield great moral and physical power. Moral power? Servants of the Black Fortress serve for life. We give up everything to fight for the Pact, and our people respect that. Alas, Redbeard allowed a lot of corruption in the hands and eyes. I will end this. Physical power. Our warriors and mages are the best in Linnaeus. We have always been allowed to conscript the best among us to serve. We have lost so many of our brothers and sisters in the last few years. I have replaced them and more. We can now direct great force when and where it is needed. We also have power in the form of our dungeons. We can unlock the mind and strip it of all its secrets. It is a great asset for the Pact, though many want us to lose that power. How strong is Avadon now? Don't make a mistake. We don't have an army. We are scouts, spies, raiders, and assassins. We find ways for minimum force to deliver maximum results. There are so many times when one carefully chosen death can prevent a rebellion or a war. How many hands and eyes does Avadon have? That is a closely guarded secret. Also, I don't know the answer. Sometimes eyes and hands disappear on missions for a long time, return only when their work is done. Sometimes those who return victorious have been thought dead for years. It's always kind of funny when that happens. What is the problem with the dungeons? There is none. Only those who have done wrong have reason to fear our dungeons. You're pretty sure that isn't actually true. They are a fearsome place, but they are there to break our enemies. You have seen them closely. What did you think? I am not an eye or a heart. I don't have to have an opinion. Protus frowns. You are either lying or thoughtless. Does Redbeard tolerate this? He takes a sip of tea. Never mind. You will learn. I need access to Redbeard's tower. Protus says, really? Why? You show him the letter. Fine, I will not interfere. The stairs are in the south end of this floor. I will have the gate open for you. Be careful though. Redbeard placed defenses up there to keep me out. I haven't had the warriors to spare to clean them out yet. Thank you for your time. Protus nods and starts to say something. Before he can speak, however, a heart has elbowed you out of the way and given the acting keeper a vital message or something. The Broads of Woods are one of the two contested territories in central Linnaeus, lands whose ownership is claimed by two states in the Pact. These woods are between Kalimdor and Hoklanda and have been the cause of much bloodshed since the Black Age. The woods themselves are not particularly valuable, unlike the contested lands to the south. They are a thick forest full of wild beasts and the occasional bandit tribe. The Kalim and the Hoklandans are proud peoples, each of which has made the fervency of their claims on this forest very clear. In past years, Avadon would arrest or otherwise neutralize politicians who try to stir up violence between the two nations. The sack of Avadon and the dawn of the Age of Chaos changed things drastically. Avadon is too weak to force Kalendaria and Hoklanda to keep the peace. Their soldiers have been quietly killing each other for the last 3 years. This minor stretch of land is tempting these two-pack members into a war that will shatter the whole alliance. The contested lands are one of 2 contested territories in central Linnaeus, lands whose ownership is claimed by 2 states in the pack. These hills and thick forests have been claimed by both the Kava and the tribes of the Wild Realm since the Black Age. Unlike the Brazza Woods to the north, the contested lands are a valuable territory. The woods there are just woods, but the hills are rich with silver, gemstones, and the crystals that are so valuable for working powerful magic. Fear of Avadon has kept these powers from taking steps to claim these lands, and neither the Kava nor the Wild Realm were eager for war. Once Avadon was sacked and depleted, raiders and prospectors from both sides began to infiltrate the contested lands. Many small battles have happened, blood has been spilled, and the disparate Wild Realm tribes have already begun to band together to prepare a defense against the Kava. Without Avadon's step in, this quiet, long-simmering dispute is one bad day from turning into war within the pack. One of Prose's hearts is patrolling its tower. She walks through the corridors, looking through windows at the surrounding mountains and taking notes. An assistant occasionally catches up with her with a fresh report. She notices you as she walks by. She checks the scroll. You are Ray Lynn, traveling with Redbeard, questionable loyalty, under observation. Yes, you can be in this tower. I am Heart Hannah. I offer you a late welcome to Avadon. You are a Heart of Avadon? That is my honor. Redbeard brought me here from the Kava. As for me personally, my family has some prestige in the Kava, and so we are expected to send many to serve. My service was acceptable. Thus, Protus chose to keep me around, with new responsibilities. I am honored. What did you do in the Kava? I was an inquisitor. I sought those who violated the Stone Code. A harsh life. I made many hard decisions. This appealed to Redbeard. How did Redbeard hear about you? His hands, eyes, and hearts are always looking for talented souls to bring to the Black Fortress, either voluntarily or by conscription. Of course, I chose to come here enthusiastically. Tell me about your family. We had wealth and position. In the Kava, however, such privileges are paid for with service. Our lands are occupied by the Warborn now. We have lost much. I am determined to take it back. What sort of service? Military, legal, charity. One measure of family value is how many of its children serve the people in the pack. By being here, I serve the pack and my family's prestige at the same time. It will help when the war ends and we rebuild. It helps our prestige that my family has given 2 daughters to the cause, me and my sister. Sister? My sister is here, Envoy Diran, sent by Hanvar's council to assist Avadon and Protus. That must be the Diran who contacted you outside the Green Refuge, asking you to spy on Redbeard for her. We were on different sides once, now we work together. I would be happy to tell you more about her. Let's talk about Envoy Diran. I would be happy to. She has already told me about you. You are working for a dangerous rogue. Redbeard is falling, and he is dragging you down with him. Yet we both have hope that you will be redeemed. She is a powerful woman now, even more so than me. I am happy for her. She seems sincere. She is powerful. She works for Hanvar's council. When the council has orders for Avadon, she delivers them. Then she reports back to them on Avadon's activity. That role gives her a huge amount of influence. You work together now? Happily, yes. When I served Redbeard, she was not pleased. She saw Redbeard was a threat to the pack before I did. Now that we both work with Protus, we get on very well. She asked me to do something. I'm sure she did. You are quite important in your own way. What does she want? She wants some of Redbeard's hair. Heart Hannah is genuinely amused. Really? That is a peculiar bit of old magic. Weak stuff. There's not much that can be done with hair. She is reaching. I'll be sure to tease her about it later. Should I help her? I think so. It won't affect Redbeard either way, but it will earn you a powerful ally. It's a savvy move. What do you do for Avadon? At the heart, I advise Acting Keeper Protus directly. The rest of the time, I am searching the pack for the disloyal. Redbeard lost track of his purpose. He couldn't tell who a true threat to the pact is. I am correcting his errors and finding those who keep the pack from coming together. Where do you look for the disloyal? Everywhere. Armies, governments, business. I am focused on those fanatics who would make pact states fight each other. This nonsense about the pack fighting over little bits of land over old grudges has to stop. How are you different from Redbeard? I am more careful. I worry about what is best for the pack, not about my own pride and delicate feelings. Also, we can't remove anyone on Hanvar's council anymore. That's the main thing Protoss gave up. They are now above us. But what if someone in Hanvar's council really is hurting the pack? The members of the council are chosen by the 5 nations of the pack. If one of them is a traitor, we just have to trust that their nation removes them. We can't remove them ourselves. Remove how? Redbeard removed them with jailing and execution. Life was hard for anyone he suspected of disloyalty. Life was hard and short. Are you sure traitors will be removed? I don't know. It's a new system. We're still working on it. Right now, we're just focused on winning the war. Heart Hannah walks with you through the halls of Redbeard. She occasionally takes a break from the conversation to receive a report or note down an idea for improving Avadon's defenses. You notice that most of her reports seem to be on individual people. She occasionally produces a pen and marks one of them with the red X. Worrying. Alright, kill him, Daryl. It's pretty cool to see Heart Hannah again, even though she's not on our side and works for Protoss now. And of course, she found a companion in that one chick we found downstairs. The people of Kalimdaro have the most advanced, sophisticated culture in all of Linnaeus. They take great pains to make sure that nobody ever forgets it. Their food, their music, their literature all have a complexity and quality unknown outside any state. But perhaps Darram, Kalimdaro's culture is a subtle melding of the customs of all the peoples who have invaded it over the centuries. Because of the breadth of its lands and difficulty defending them, Kalimdaro has rarely been able to hold off an invader. Instead, it takes hordes in, seduces them with their way of life, and, in the end, assimilates them. But this has long been a painful and trying process, with much death and devastation, and thus the current rulers of Kalimdaro had no difficulty deciding to join the pact when membership was offered. In the century since, some things changed in Kalimdaro, like their military, which has grown far stronger, and their ruling nobles who have, in their new safety, engaged in baroque political struggles, court intrigues, and campaigns of quiet assassination. The culture, on the other hand, remains a bit stagnant and codified, perhaps, but still the envy of the known world. Kalimdaro is terrified by the crumbling of the pact in the Age of Chaos. At the same time, their lasting argument with Hoglanda over the ownership of the contested Baraza Woods has erupted into constant violence, and Avadon no longer has the strength to step in and stop it. Hoglanda, one of the 5 nations of the pact, is the land of the folk. Centuries of warfare left Hoglanda with an understandably paranoid outlook. To them, there are the folk, good loyal Hoglandans who can be trusted and valued, and the outsiders, who are to be regarded with mistrust at best. Outsiders are, of course, anyone who is not of the folk. Hoglandan society is highly stratified. Every member of the folk undergoes a rigorous period of testing, mental and physical. The results of this trial determine that citizen's unalterable life path. The talented child of a peasant farmer might become a lord, but he will stay a lord for life. Families in Hoglanda are tightly knit clans, and ties of blood demand unquestionable support in any conflict. But at the same time, members of the same army, wing of the bureaucracy, or other social unit are also supposed to stand together against outsiders. These two obligations can frequently come into conflict. To manage the divided loyalties, Hoglandans have a dizzying web of customs, etiquette, and rules of warfare. The countless laws that govern Hoglandan life, many unwritten, some even unspoken, are frequently impenetrable to outsiders and sometimes to the folk as well. In the current Age of Chaos, Hoglanda's membership in the pact is violent and uncertain. On the surface, all is well. At the same time, Hoglanda and its neighbor Kalimdaro are fighting a bloody guerrilla war over lands between them. Avadon is powerless to end this carnage. Okay, I'm assuming that's going to be up to Redbeard's quarters. So let's go ahead and explore more of this. Ooh, Redbeard Tower access. Avadon dungeon access. Avadon main floor access. The stern-faced woman meditates while standing. She is wearing a pristine black robe and a purple sash. When you approach, her eyes snap open and lock on you. She bows. I'm Petitioner Jeno of Hoklanda. She looks disappointed by what she sees, and you are a hand, not useful. Why do you say I'm not useful to you? A hand cannot help me with the favor I seek. I need at least an eye. A heart would do, preferably the keeper himself. What does the title Petitioner mean? Obvious. I am seeking a favor from acting keeper Protus, or a heart, or if I must, an eye. A hand cannot get what I seek. Tell me more about Hoklanda. She seems unsurprised by your interest. We prefer not to speak about ourselves. You point out that you did not ask her about her, but rather her home. Most just want to talk to me of their love of Shadow Walker tales or make comments about our clothes. She smooths out her robe and sash. I come from the village among the leaves. Our name derives from our love of landscaping and plentiful forest. I miss my village, but I am here on their behalf. I seek a favor from the keeper. What favor do you seek? We heard our conflict with Kalimdaria over the Braz Woods will soon be ended. The woods will be split between us. You've heard the same. The pact has had enough and will be imposing a solution on the conflict. My family owns large tracts of forest near the border. We lease them to loggers who thin the forest, harvesting only those trees that can be spared. This method preserves forests for future generations, but requires very large swaths of land to be profitable. What do you think of the solution for the fight? I think that any who oppose it are assassinated by Avadon. It is your elegant way to make sure none oppose the peace. But I approve. It was madness for us to fight each other when the far lands were planning to destroy us. I'm not hearing what you want. I seek to expand our land holdings into the Braz Woods. They contain virgin forests with old growth trees ripe for harvest. You noticed her hand rests on a bulging coin purse on her hip. Perhaps I can help. No, when I first arrived, I paid a hand to help me. It proved fruitless. I will not make that mistake again. Exactly how will a bribe to Avadon get you lands in the Braz Woods split? She shakes her head with disappointment. The logic should be obvious. You tell her it is not. She takes pity on you. The splitting of the Braz Woods will be based on a map and report made here. I seek an eye, heart, or even the keeper to recommend that my family get preferential consideration when those woods are partitioned to be sold. Of course, I am more than willing to pay for their time and careful consideration in this matter. She rests her hand on her coin purse. Bribing an Avadon official is immoral. Her eyes narrow on you. The Braz Woods will be sold off regardless. Why not to my family? We'll preserve those forests mostly as we have our other lands. Otherwise, who knows what will happen to the woods. Excuse me, I am done speaking with someone who cannot help me. She returns to her meditation. An elderly man of the cave is slumped in his chair. His robes are clean, but threadbare and torn. He has been in exile in Avadon for quite some time, and has left him exhausted and demoralized. He still has enough energy to greet a hand of Avadon. He goes into his speech, which he has given many times. Greetings, envoy of Avadon. I am honored to meet you. I am Overseer Levent, master of the unfortunate cave town of Goldcrag. I have been here for some time trying to get help for my sad, ruined village. I am a humble leader of the Cava, and we need your help. How did you come to be here? My poor town was near the Cava's border with the Wretchlands. When the war began, we were one of the first towns assaulted. Now we are on the front, constantly warred over by Pact and the Warborn. Our beautiful town is a battlefield, and all of our people fled. Where are Goldcrag's people now? In camps on the safe side of enemy lines. We wait, we train, we are going to fight and take our town back. We are just waiting for help. Where'd you go after Goldcrag was lost? I went to the camps to help my people. I got food and shelter for them. I reassured them. We found old warriors willing to train us so we could help retake our home. Then with time, I saw I had to leave. I came to Avadon. Why did you leave the camp? Because we want to fight. We want to reclaim our home. However, we are poor and hungry. We are farmers and merchants. We can't take Goldcrag back and rebuild it without help. Was the journey here dangerous? Happily, no. I traveled here along the free roads, far from the enemy. At least one thing went well. You are staying in Avadon now. Yes, but I will leave soon. Even if I can't get help, guests are not tolerated forever. Other supplicants are waiting to take my pallet and wait for the Keeper's aid. Overseer Levent invites you to sit on his bench with him. He sips water and carefully watches anyone who walks by, looking for anyone who could help him. I am happy to speak with you, Han. I've been here for a long time, and most here have tired of me. I'd like to know more about Goldcrag. It was a beautiful town, friendly, fertile. We obeyed the Stone Code and fought for the Pact. I was thankful every day for the honor of being its overseer. Then the Age of Chaos began, and the Warborn poured over the borders. What condition is it in now? He looks away. A ruin, a pile of rubble. The Warborn filth defile everything they touch. Who will be overseer when you return? I won't lie, I hope it is me. I like being overseer. However, I would happily be a street sweeper if I could do it in my home. What will you do when the town is retaken? We will rebuild. I hope the Pact helps us, but if they don't, we will do it ourselves. We will remake our home. I want to be there the first day we return. Before anything else, we will go and etch the stones. Etch the stones? There are 3 stones in the middle of every cave of town. They are carved with the Stone Code, the laws we all live by. Sometimes these laws are changed. When it happens, the new lines are etched into the stones. That is what I mean. A full copy of the Stone Code will mark us as full members of the Cava once again. You are looking for help? Levent looks around to make sure nobody is fine. Then he leans close to you and whispers, I know who you are. You work with Redbeard. Acting Keeper Protus doesn't care about our humble little town, but Redbeard might. I've heard rumors. He has been seen near the Cava. Please, speak with him. Ask him to help us. We are eager to fight and to work, but we can't do it alone. Oh, and please keep this a secret. Don't tell Protus. Why do I need to keep the secret? Levent chuckles. Politics. I've been around a long time. I know that Protus will be angry at me if he thinks I'm talking to his rival. He will retaliate. Doesn't matter, I'll take the risk for my people. You think that Redbeard can help you? I do. He is old and eccentric, but he is powerful and cunning. Also, he needs allies very badly. I think something can be worked out. You met the exile lord of the Cava city of Goldcrag. He waits in the audience room for the Keeper's audience hall. As usual, you can do services for him for valuable rewards. He might have work for you if you promise to keep it secret. Okay. Okay, so this was definitely a callback because we only saw Overseer Levent in the first game. And here's another callback to both games. You were surprised to find an aging wretch sitting in Protus's glorious hall. He's gnawing his way through a rack of ribs. His robes are torn and stained, his hair is gray, and his claws are cracked and dull. He gives you a cheery wave when you approach, though he doesn't rise. I, Lord Servaro, envoy of High Lord Deathskull, mighty helper of Avadon, greet you. He starts to give a speech, thinks better of it, and returns to gnawing on a femur. What is the wretch doing in Avadon? Eating, he belches. Your food. Been here for years, lean times for a while, but then that Protus came. Food's better than it's ever been. He pats his round stomach. Look, I'm fat. It's a good thing. Not a lot of fat wretches these days. You've been here for years? 7 years now. I'm the only wretch here. Everyone used to me. Made lots of friends. The other people waiting roll their eyes. How did you get here? We rode, me and my guards. All can travel on the free roads. It's the law of the Pact. And all can come to Avadon. Lord Deathskull wants to send wretch. I say, send me, because I am smart. Long time ago, that was. You are an example of a smart wretch? Yes, look at this. He waves a bone at you. Could be in wretch lands with other Warborn. Taking orders from Tawan. Getting hunted by Pact. Killed by the thousands. Instead, I, Lord Savaro, am here, safe and with meat. Only problem, Protus never sent see me. Only sent hearts to ask me things. Protus never learned how smart I am. You are a lord? Yes, High Lord Deathskull says so. So it is. Lord among wretches, Savaro is. Tell me about High Lord Deathskull. Is leader of mighty tribe, protected by Avadon. We kept safe from war if we give little bits of help. Me talking to Avadon made him mighty. We'll make him mightier. Lord Serval continues to gnaw his way through his meat. Occasionally, he breaks through a bone to a nice pocket of marrow and makes some happy slurping noises. He ignores the disgusted looks of the other envoys. Serval has inhabited this corner of the waiting hall for a long time, and he feels quite at home. He looks up at you, considers saying something, and then returns to his chomping. You say that you help Avadon? Me help Avadon more than any other Warborn ever, and will help even more. He grabs a fresh rib off of a waiting plate. Never get to talk to keepers, ever, so I wait here. Talk to who I can, get little scraps for Warborn. What did Redbeard think of you? Think he not like me. Me sit 6 years, just a rock thrown from his throne. He never talked to Serval, not once. He not smart. That is why he got kicked out, I think. Any luck with acting keeper Protus? Some luck. He never talked to me. Nose and air like Redbeard, but he does thin hearts. I tell them about High Lord Deathskull. They take our tribe in, protect us, use us for things. I like Protus. He is smart. Also food much better when he here. Why do you stay here? Serval have more power than ever before. Serval make changes for his tribe. That why Deathskull send treasures to me. Use it to bribe hands, get work done. Get more good things for the tribe. Get more goods meals for Serval. What if a hand was willing to help you? Serval side. Sometimes hands say they will help. I pay. They no get good help. Still, I try. You look like good hand. Might help me for pay, but... He leans close to you. He does not smell good. Here thing. I have thing to do. Thing Protus might not want. Need to be secret. Just you and me. Your secrets would be safe with me. Serval grins, giving you an unfortunate look at his teeth. Good, then we can work together. I'm ready to get first important order. What can I do for you? My mighty tribe is outside lair of a mighty dragon. But there is fight. Some dumb wretch is angry at High Lord Deathskull. Question him. Mess up nice deal we have. Deathskull send to me for help. Go there, find my mighty lord, discourage his rivals, in argument that tears mighty tribe apart. Why can't I tell Protus about this? Maybe High Lord Deathskull not help Protus. Maybe my lord works with Redbeard more. Maybe Protus not want to help Redbeard. Where is your High Lord? In the Titanlands. We are hiding outside lair of mighty dragon Zethron. Good, safe spot for us if dumb wretches don't mess it up. When you say I should discourage his rivals, I mean stab them. He helpfully illustrates this by not thrusting a gnawed rib into the air. To death. I am done here. And Lord Serval returns to his important work, which, as far as you can tell, is eating and nothing else. Lord Serval is a wretch of great self-regard who has spent years taking up space in the waiting room outside the Keeper's audience hall. He constantly tries to hire hands to do little services for his tribe. He told you that his master, High Lord Deathskull, is camped outside Zethron's lair in southeast Linnaeus. Go there and offer your services. The wretch is having some problems. Okay. So that's another good callback there. In the last game, we only had like one quest to do for him. You ascend into Redbeard's tower. For decades, it has been the secret sanctum of the mighty keeper of Avadon. Almost nobody in Linnaeus has ever stepped into this most secret of places. The first floor is some sort of laboratory or battle hall. There are 6 magic circles ringing the room. A platform for dueling is in the center of the hall. Everything is dusty. Protus hasn't been up here. You aren't sure what this hall is for. For all you know, Redbeard summons monsters and kills them as a hobby. But yeah, in the last game, he only had one quest for us. Well, but in this one, he has more of a quest for us, and in the first game, he had 2 quests for us. Oh, dang. You all remember in the last game, though, where I got attacked by a bunch of those guardians? That was very annoying. I'm surprised I'm not facing any new guardians now, to be honest. The second floor of the tower is bizarre. The floor is basalt. Deep troughs in the stone are full of magma. It is excruciatingly hot. Mist and smoke cuts visibility, but you can see a large stone basin on a platform in the middle of the chamber. You can also see hunched figures wandering through the smoke and soot. This floor has guards. I spoke too soon. This definitely has guards. One of the Guardian's Infernals gets close to you, it sniffs at you, and snarls. Your presence confuses it. It grumbles. You. Marked. It does not attack. It wants to attack to eat. It eats weak things. It wants to see it. See you are not weak, and then it lunges at you. Okay, suit yourselves then. Now that I've thought about it, can you imagine having like a mage character in this? In these solo events? You have managed to club the Infernal into submission. It cowers and moans. It sees the meat is strong. The meat can pass. It shows us it is worthy. Then the Infernal turns, eager to prove its value by fending off any other rebellious Infernals. Oh snap. Oh, this one's almost dead, so... Okay, that one's submitted. I should have used the group heal and kept that one alive. I like how they're using fire when they're all immune to fire. Looking at private chambers. At last, you are in Redbeard's private chambers. They're beautiful and opulent as you'd expect, though everything is a bit dusty. Windows provide a glorious view of the icy mountains surrounding Avadon. There are guards on this floor too. Stone sentinels lurch around, looking for intruders. One of them senses you and turns towards you. Then, as you draw your weapon, it stops. You watch with relief as it turns and lumbers away. Somehow, it sensed that you were supposed to be here. of the junk box is full of tools, nails, cutlery, and other odds and ends. You find some scrolls, a broken comb, some pipes, and other mundane items. Nothing of real value. You sort through the junk looking for a bit of Redbeard's hair. There isn't any, not even a strand. Not too surprising. At the bottom of the box, you do find a ceramic flask. You open it and find that it's full of sticky medicinal goo. This must be the flask he described in the letter. You take it. This box is full of Redbeard's personal effects. There is clothing, toiletries, and other junk. Even a few pots of makeup. Redbeard left most of it behind when he fled Avadon. There's nothing of value. You sort through the box looking for a bit of Redbeard's hair. There isn't any, not even a strand, even on the combs. Interesting. He seems to have taken pains to not leave any hair behind. As you leave Redbeard's quarters, you check the scroll he gave you. It has changed. A final line has appeared at the bottom of the sheet. Portal is south of Audience Hall. Go to it, find me, hurry, I need... And that's all it said. Redbeard's handwriting gets kind of wild at the end. And then the writing lurches off at the edge of the sheet. Portal is south of Audience Hall. Oh yeah, back in... You return with great regret to the lava floor. All the infernals are gone. Instead, someone is waiting for you. You can see a familiar figure walking for you by the basin in the middle of the chamber. Acting Keeper Protus is standing in the middle of this hall. The sweltering heat doesn't bother him. He barely seems to notice. He is standing next to a basin full of steaming red goo. When you approach, he says, "Well, Raylan, I suspect your stay with us is coming to an end." He leans against the vat. "I wanted to speak with you one more time. I just have a few questions." "Thank you for your help." "It was our pleasure. Despite our disagreements, we are still on the same side. I have what I need. I'm just going to go." "Of course, you have much to do, and I trust it will help the pact. You have done much so far. You will still need to speak with me first. I am the acting keeper, and I insist." "What is that vat?" "Some of Redbeard's magic. Restorative magic, helping him to stay alive and functional well past his years. He's been away from it for a while. That is probably having an effect. I wouldn't touch it. It is enchanted to only help Redbeard. I plan to have it destroyed soon. Ask what you need to." "Well, I am new in this post, and I confess that I can still be insecure. You have seen Avadon with fresh eyes, and you have good judgment. What do you think of the Black Fortress?" "I kind of expected more." "Really? So much power, magic, and beauty, and you aren't satisfied?" I suppose that is fine. We should always want to improve, even in a place as glorious as this one." He watches you silently. You wait for him to speak, but he doesn't. He doesn't move either. He just watches. Your interrogation isn't done. What else do you want to know? He leaves the vat and takes a few steps towards you. Then he lifts a necklace, symbol of his mighty position. "This means that, for now, I am keeper. You can return to Redbeard. It took some thought, but I decided to allow it. Before you go, I want you to speak freely. I am not Redbeard. I will not punish you for honesty. Anything you want to say to me?" "I must still be loyal to Redbeard." "I would expect no less. Redbeard is sending you to win victories for the pack. I admit it. Yet you are the true hero, not him. Someday you will be forced to choose who you are truly loyal to. You are a priceless servant for to your nation. Please, don't let Redbeard drag you down with him." "Aren't you afraid that Redbeard will kill you?" "Of course, he is powerful and full of tricks. He also hates me. He would kill me in a moment if he could. That is the way of tyrants. I am not afraid. He will not scare me, the old bully. I know I am doing good." "I am doing more to end the war than you are." Protus winces. For a moment he regrets saying that you could be honest. "You are correct. Twice now you were the right person in the right place. You did great things to disrupt the Cimmerians and end the rebellion. It doesn't matter. Redbeard is no longer keeper. You are allowed to help him, but one day you will have to come home. That's all I have to say. And I only have one last bit of business. It regards an item that you, moments ago, removed from Redbeard's chambers." "What?" "The flask, full of medicine to revive Redbeard. It is in your pack now." "Yes." "Yes, I have it." "Good. He hopes it will remove the taint of the corruption. It won't, but it will make him functional again. He produces from his pocket a tiny pouch. From this he takes a pinch of herbs. Even in the smoky, sulfurous chamber, the bitter medicinal smell of the green mixture makes you wince. Please, let me put this in the flask. What will the herb do? Very little. It will cause his powers to waver. He will still be able to command and defend himself. However, it will limit his more powerful magic. He is too dangerous to have full use of his power. Is that all? I'm not sure I believe you. That doesn't matter. The Keeper of Avadon has given you a command. You will submit. Won't Redbeard detect it? No, he is not omniscient, and Avadon's alchemists are the best in the known world. Why are you asking? Can't you force me? I could, but then you would just warn Redbeard when you give him the flask. I need your cooperation. I'm counting on your desire to live. Redbeard is erratic and dangerous. If he decides to kill you, do you really want him to have full use of his power? I can't allow this. Protus looks away and thanks. For a moment, you picture yourself in the Avadon dungeons. Or dead. Then he shrugs. Your decision is noted. I give you leave to depart Avadon. I suspect the portal south of my audience hall will take you where you need to go. With those words, the gate to the north slowly opens. Protus doesn't respond to your rudeness. He simply turns and walks toward the exit. You find yourself on a stone platform, stunned and nauseated. As usual, magical teleportation leaves you dazed. Your senses slowly return. First thing you notice, it's hot. You are in a desert. It's a deserted thicket surrounded by thick, impenetrable growths of cactus. You are in the south, maybe the Cava, maybe the lanes of the Warborn. You'd hope that Redbeard would have someone here to greet you. Instead, you're lost and alone. It doesn't take you long to get very thirsty. Chapter 3, Warborn. The wild humanoids of the far lanes have raided the pack for centuries. They must be pushed back over their border for good. You stumble down the path, still slightly dazed from the journey. You occasionally brush against the brambles to either side, leaving your arms with painful scratches. You hear growling nearby. You aren't alone in the waste. Something is lurking down one of these paths. You look for a trail or some other sign of where the predators are. Come on. I don't care about no freaking alarm. Just give me... Let's attack me. Get it over with already. Ideally, I probably should have just saved the game here. Oh, I'm so tired of fighting alone, though. I want my companions. At least we are in chapter 3. That was a long interlude. Come on, I want my companions already. Enough of this solo stuff for now. This better be the only solo part in the game where we have to go without companions, because this is starting to get frustrating for me. Facing all these salamanders. I don't know what it is right now, but I am like kind of over all the solo stuff. I'd rather just fight with a team. Come on, enough of these freaking lizards. I mean, I get it that they want to make the journey kind of perilous, but it's just, ugh. Get it over with. Yeah, I'm really not. I really haven't enjoyed any of the stuff where you have to go without companions, because it's just a lot more tedious that way. I do want to get on with the story already. I think we've gone at least several parts without our companions at this point. I don't even know. I don't even know how long that whole sequence in Avadon was. Can you all just hurry up and die already? This is the only thing that sucks about having a strict Blade Master. Well, no, I'm actually working on the utility rather than battle skills, so... But I kind of wish... It's one of those times where it would be convenient, just so I can wipe out all these freaking... monsters with area effect spells. Because the utility skills aren't going to really come into play unless I have my companions with me. Die already! Get out of here. You know what, like I said, I think we are at that point now where we can just fill up potions. I do need a managed inventory anyway. I'm hanging on to the curing brews though. I feel like we need those often. Elixir of battle, elixir of speed, salt crystal. These might come in handy. And a rejuvenation elixir. More freaking... Let's just sneak past them. I don't feel like fighting them. Much to your relief, you have found Redbeard. There is a small encampment in this clearing. The keeper is in the middle, surrounded by guards and hands. He looks desperately ill. All hands turn to you the moment you come into sight. Redbeard croaks. At last. Raylan, I need you. I need what you have. Hurry. The guards step aside, allowing you to approach the keeper. The hands are relieved to see you and eager to offer their aid. You get close to Redbeard for the first time since Miranda attacked him in the corruption. He slumped in his chair. It is shocking how rapidly he has declined. He is limp and exhausted. His skin is pale, cracked, and covered with drops of sweat. His hair is showing much more gray, though that might just be the light. Ilaria stands nearby, ready to give assistance in case he falls over. When you stand before the keeper, he looks up at you. You wait for him to talk. He's barely conscious. He makes a waving motion with his hand, inviting you to speak. I see that Ilaria made it. The eye nods, and I am grateful for your aid. We need to help Redbeard now. What are you doing out here? He shakes his head, annoyed. Ilaria says, the hands in the fortress won't let us in. We'll deal with that in a moment. I'm back and ready to report. Redbeard shakes his head, then he speaks. His voice is quiet and cracked. Later. No report. Need. Flask. Give it. As he lifts his hand for it, he has not tampered. Must be left alone. I found the flask in your chambers. Nobody tampered with it. He takes the flask with a trembling hand. With effort, he unseals the cork. When the hands try to help him, he waves them away. Then he drinks the contents in one long pull. The effect is instant. He shudders, convulses in the chair, and passes out. Ilaria grabs him and keeps him upright. There is a long, tense silence. Then, finally, he raises his head and opens his eyes. Are you all right? He nods. I am better. It will take time to... The corruption is in me. A little. I will get it out. Not important. Work. To do. The maps of the Warborn. He holds out his hand. Give them to me. How did the corruption affect you? It didn't. It is temporary. Just a small affliction. I will recover soon. You look at the other hands and eyes, trying to see if this is true. They don't meet your gaze. Here are the papers. He takes the map and flips through them. Old. A month old. Not ideal. Still enough. It will be enough. We can act. Now, real business. You did well enough. Now, Zethron's Keep. Near here. I have quarters prepared. Need to get in there. You go. Get in. Get into the keep. Redbeard is suddenly overcome with rage. He's not exhausted or slumped in his chair anymore. He leans forward, trembling in fury. They won't let us in. Say I'm not the true keeper. They will pay. I swear. Commander Wallace will pay. Zethron's Keep was made at my direction. Zethron is there now. I must be in there too. It is urgent. You will help. If they submit soon, they might turn aside my vengeance. Who is Zethron? A dragon, one of the most powerful of his kind. It is my servant. It will do what I say. I can't direct it while I am trapped out here. What do I need to do? You will go to the gates of Zethron's Keep. To the west, not far. They refuse to even talk to me or my servants. They will have to at least let you approach. Tell them they have to let me in. Accept no refusal. If you have to fight them, do it. Less is coming. We must get in. We must prepare. Give their leader a message. I have been restored. I have my strength back. I will use it if they force me. You honestly can't tell if this is a bluff or not. I might have to fight them. I don't want you to have to kill other hands. Still, I am the keeper of Avadon. If they refuse me, they need to die. I will get us in there. Nobody will stop me. Redbeard nods approvingly. We have won 2 great victories for the Pact. We can win a third, but I must get into my base. Mine. A fleck of spittle flies from his lips. That keep is mine. They can't keep me out. He slumps back in his chair, exhausted. The audience is done. Redbeard has led you to the Cava, which has been fighting a vicious war against invading Warborn hordes. As before, Delette's attempting to meet with them and convince them to keep fighting. You need to disrupt the meeting. Right now, Redbeard is stranding outside Zethron's lair. Go to this fortress and convince them to let Redbeard inside. But in the meantime, we are going to save the game right here, and I'll see you all with the next part.